There are so many interesting, horrifying, or downright weird things in this big world of ours.
Each week, we'll bring you a new true crime story that has little to no coverage in English.
Let us do the translations, so you don't have to. Hello.
Hello. We're
How
back.
are you? How are you doing?
Good.
I just wanted to mention, we are 1 week and 1 day away from Viktória defending her PhD thesis. So
Yes.
thank you for taking the time and doing this
I
recording.
need distractions anyway. But the good thing is that by the time this episode comes out, it will already be
well
long
past
in the past.
Yes, you'll be de-stressed by then, and
Yes.
yeah, you'll be a doctor.
So whoever's, I don't even know when I'm officially becoming a doctor. Anyway, whoever's listening to this, just know that it already happened.
Yeah.
And it was probably fine.
Successfully did it. Yes. And if not, then you'll hear in many weeks that it wasn't or it was, or no, I'm joking.
Yeah.
We won't update probably.
Well, maybe if there's anything major, if we don't say anything about it, just assume that it was fine.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
We all survived it.
Yeah.
And it was okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
And then we'll talk about your defense soon.
Oh, yeah. In like 2 years now.
No.
We'll see when it happens.
Much less than a year.
Sure. I don't know about that, but
okay, 1 year max.
1 year. I think 1 year max, maybe. Aiming for 1 year max, but yeah. Ugh. And
Put
then
this in your calendars, listeners.
Yeah.
In 1 year, send an email.
May 2026.
Laura, what's up with your defense?
Yeah.
So it's just the two of us today.
Yes.
Petra is not here again. Petra is skipping the meetings again.
Yes, the fun of watching the documentary that we're covering today.
Yes. Did we say anything about covering this new documentary?
I think we might have said, but was it just the after chat that we were discussing that we would maybe yeah, okay. So maybe we didn't record it.
We're telling you now.
Yeah, indeed.
We're talking about the latest Gabby Petito documentary.
Yeah,
is American Murder.
American Murder, Gabby Petito.
Yeah. But about Petra, so I just wanted to say that Petra is coming back. So
she's not gone from our lives or this podcast.
No, we just have some scheduling difficulties, I think, nowadays with everything going on, but we're going to be back to normal soon.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Trying our best.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite difficult to schedule 3 people together on one evening during the week, especially when like 2/3 of us have kids and all 3 of us have jobs and one of us has a defense coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of also a way for us to save a bit of time on preparing an actual case. That's why we're talking about a documentary. And that's not the only reason. I think we also enjoyed talking about the previous one.
Yes.
The O.J. Simpson case. So we might do this more often, I guess.
Yeah. I actually was just watching this, I don't know, kind of an uplifting one. It was only a 30-minute kind of documentary on Netflix. It was called The Quilters. And it follows these prisoners at some maximum security prison. And they quilt. So they just quilt in this section of the prison, like from, was it 7 to 3, Monday through Friday. And of course you have to have the clearance to do that, as you can't have any, misdemeanor or like any infractions or whatever on your record while you're in prison. So you have to have a clean record.
Mm-hmm.
But they make quilts for autistic children or children on the autism spectrum and foster children and stuff like that, and like disadvantaged youth. So it's kind of a cute, these people have probably murdered somebody or done something really atrocious, but then they kind of give it back like to the community by making these beautiful quilts, and I thought it was kind of uplifting.
Oh, that's great. So is it a series or just one documentary?
Just one like 30-minute small documentary, but yeah, I suggest
Nice.
you watch it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know, it kind of gave like a really nice, like, this is the point of rehabilitation. There was this guy in there who'd been in since he was 20 years old, and I think at that time he'd been in there for 40 something years. And he's like, yeah, of
That's a
course.
lot of years.
Yeah, and he's like, of course, I can't. I regret what I did, obviously, and I just hope that the family can forgive me for doing this to them, and I can't imagine what the family thinks. And the first thing that you need to do is forgive yourself for it, and I've forgiven myself for doing this horrible thing, but I just hope that the family forgives me. And it's just like, that's the kind of rehabilitation that you want to see, that these guys understand that they've done something wrong. Yes, it won't give the life back, but at least, they're doing something productive with their life. And like another one was like, yeah, I was always so quick to anger when I was on the outside of prison, and now when I'm talking with my family and I can see that they even tell me like, oh yeah, your voice is completely different and your demeanor is completely different, and you've just like completely chilled out. And well, his name was Chill on the show, so yeah, so it was kind of like, yeah, it was nice and uplifting and kind of a good quick watch.
It's good to hear some positive stories too.
Yeah
From prison.
Yeah
Or about rehabilitation. I mean, there are some positive ones, of course, not just this, but
yeah could also cover some of these types of things, but yeah, I thought it was quite nice. So
success stories from prison, or
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah if you can have a
For
success
Christmas
story.
we can do that as our lighthearted episode.
Yeah, but now we get to the nitty-gritty and the shit of this case. So we're once again covering Gabby Petito. And yeah, what did you think, Victoria?
So I have watched this a few months ago already. Maybe, I don't even know when, not too long ago, a while ago. So probably a lot of the details will come back to me as we talk about it. I don't think we'll probably do something similar to as in the OJ case, that we'll just kind of randomly discuss our thoughts on the case, but it's not going to be kind of a presentation of the entire case.
No.
So please go and watch the documentary before you come here to listen to us. I remember when this happened because it was in 2021. Yeah, so I remember reading this in the news, watching some videos on YouTube then. It's a pretty fresh case, and also it was covered a lot in the news everywhere, as it tends to be when, a blonde, white female dies in America or disappears. And that's one of the, I think, very much discussed aspects of this case, that it's not always like that. It really depends on who the victim is.
Yeah, it does. Because I was listening to, what was it? Wicked Words with Kate Winkler Dawson. I forget which episode I was listening to, because I just kind of put on Spotify and then it just plays all the episodes I need to catch up on. And one of them it brought up, because they brought up the fact that, Gabby Petito and white female goes missing or is murdered or whatever. And it's always at the forefront of everybody's mind, especially the media. And it's kind of like, the coveted kind of person to get murdered or missing, for instance. Like, they like to cover these types of people. And there's, at the same time, there was the disappearance of Daniel Robinson, who was a Black guy, 24-year-old, and he was an American geologist, and he was seen leaving his job in Buckeye, Arizona on June 23rd, in 2021. And so this was kind of going on at the same time, and it kind of got covered up because of then Gabby Petito happened. So it was right during that time that, he went missing, in June, end of June, and then this was happening kind of July, August of 2021, and September of 2021, this Gabby Petito case. So yeah, that indeed is something that happens far too often.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
of course, not to say that it makes this case less important
no,
or
no, no, no,
tragic or
definitely not.
anything, but
No.
probably partly it's also um, about how much the family is, like interacting with the media, how much the family is kind of pushing
Mm,
for the case to be out there. But then also, this is like a more kind of sellable case
yes.
for them. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Yeah.
probably most people who are listening to this at least heard something about this case.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go. Yeah.
I
Sorry, I was
think your
writing.
internet was lagging,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah,
There
maybe.
was a little bit of
What was your
break.
question?
No, I just said that I think probably most people who are listening to this episode are at least heard something about this case,
Yeah, at least
even
the
if they
name.
don't know the details.
Yeah, at least
Yeah.
Gabby Petito is a name. I mean, I think it's becoming kind of a household name. When you think of Gabby, you think of Petito, or Petito, you think of Gabby. Like, it's just
Hmm.
this name that always goes together. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure there are several documentaries out there about this already. I
Mm,
don't actually know, but this
yeah,
is the only one I've seen. I've read some other things online, like
same. Yeah.
articles and stuff.
That kind of reminds me, like the other day I woke up and I don't know why I had the name Chandra Levy stuck in my brain. And I was like,
Hmm.
Chandra Levy, Chandra. It was just like I woke up with that name in my head. And I was like, who is that again? And I was like, oh shit, it's that woman who was murdered, and it was like the congressman that supposedly had done it. Was it in like the early 2000s or something like that? Anyway, but it was like a murder case, and I was like, that's so weird that I woke up with that name. But like Chandra always goes with Levy, now, and like with
Hmm.
Levy goes Chandra. Like that's what it like Gabby Petito. It always goes together now too in my mind.
Interesting what might have been kind of the association in your brain that
Yeah,
brought up the name.
yeah,
Was
because
it,
I
something that sounded like that, like something that rhymes to that name, and then in your dream, or was it like actually something that's kind of the content of it was similar to that case, and then
yeah,
you
yeah, I have no idea because usually I wake up either with a song in my head or like a name or a word or something like on repeat.
really
Yeah, yeah, like it's
interesting.
every day I think I have a yeah, and pretty much every day I have a song stuck
You
in my head.
open your eyes and you have like it's playing in your head
Yeah,
immediately.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. I
So
don't
maybe
have
I'm
that.
dreaming of music. I don't know.
I don't have that. What is even happening in my brain when I wake up? I don't know. Not that for
Hmm.
sure.
Yeah.
Just more like orienting myself that wait, what
Where
day
the
is
fuck
it?
am I?
What
What
do I
year am
have
I
to
in?
do? Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so Gabby Petito documentary. So
yes.
this has 3 episodes. It's a mini series.
Yeah.
And do we want to tell kind of what's covered in each?
Yeah.
Not in detail, but just kind of story wise how they build it.
Yeah. Sure. Um, yeah. So the first episode goes like, okay, so her and her fiance, Brian Laundry, they basically, start dating. They knew each other, right? And then they buy
Hmm.
a okay, I have it in Finnish on Netflix. I'm kind of like having to translate in real time. Paketti-auto, or like
When
yeah, a van, camper van. Yeah, van life, hashtag van life.
yes,
And
so I think they are in high school, right? When they get
yes,
to know each other,
yeah,
then
yeah,
they
like
start dating.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
she moves to his parents' place, or they
yes, in
move together
Florida.
to Brian's. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
they buy a van and
Hmm.
decide to do.
Kind of vlogging influencer lifestyle to cover, like to go across the country, which all seems nice and dandy. And they buy
Yeah.
a van and whatnot. And then, so that's like the first episode that they kind of lay the foundation of their relationship, and then going to buy the van and whatnot, and then starting their adventures. And then the second episode is Where's Gabby, or Misha Gabby on in Finnish. And then it kind of goes on the part where they're stopped by police in Utah,
Hmm.
and there's like this whole domestic violence kind of situation going on. We'll get more into that,
Yeah.
obviously. And then Gabby goes missing a few days later. and her parents make kind of contact the police, like, hey, can you help us find her? Yeah, and then the look for Brian and Gabby starts, because at that point they hadn't even known that where Brian was either. So that was
Yeah.
like the big question, like where's Brian and where is
Yeah.
Gabby? Of course. And then the third episode goes into, well, burn after reading, or like, I don't know the
Burn
actual
after
name of
reading.
okay, it is okay, yeah, because
Okay.
in Finnish we polta tämä luettavasti. So like,
Mhm.
and
So I
then
think
it's
that was written on the envelope too,
yes.
right?
So basically we can also get into the letter, but it was a
Yeah.
letter that his mother gave to him, and we'll get into
Mhm.
that situation.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah. And then the third episode, of course, goes into them finding the body eventually, and just kind of like pestering Brian and the family for details. And yeah, all that bullshit of the family
Yeah.
dynamics. So
Yeah.
yeah, let's get
Did you
into it.
think they did a good job presenting the case, or like
I
asking the relevant people about relevant things?
I mean, yeah, I liked it. I mean, they tried to get Brian's parents, I think, to respond, but they didn't want to. I think I read in the documentary, and
Unsurprisingly, yeah.
yeah, I mean, they should be indicted on something, I think, but aiding and abetting or something. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I thought it was done well, especially since the episodes were so short. It was kind of bite-sized pieces. It wasn't like the OJ trial, like, or the OJ Simpson documentary. That was really long. Like, how many episodes was that? Like 4 or 5 episodes, and each were like an hour-ish.
Yeah, but
It was
what
like,
this one was it shorter? I mean, 3
yeah,
episodes, but each one was maybe an hour, or was it shorter?
shorter even. I think one was
Shorter. Okay.
48 minutes, one was 38, another one was like 40 something minutes. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Even though this is, I mean, not a very like kind of a simple case in a way,
Hmm.
but yeah,
So
a lot
that's
of
why I
stuff
think it
happening.
was wound together well and kind of packaged in
Mhm.
a nice way. So,
And I remember when the case was happening, I did, like I did consume some articles and some
yeah.
stuff related to it, but there was a lot of new things for me. I never really, I didn't go down the rabbit hole ever to really look into the details of this case, but I thought it was interesting that they talked to a lot of their kind of high school friends, or
Yeah.
there was this high school friend, there was Gabby's ex-boyfriend,
Yeah, I thought
also from high school.
the ex-boyfriend was an interesting point of view, and also the female friend of Brian, who was like more friends with him
Mm.
than Gabby, but she was kind of mutual friend with both of them.
And then Gabby's other friend that she got to
Yes.
know
Well, in
in
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so they got to know each other in high school. It
Mhm.
seemed fine, but it was like originally it seemed like, oh my God, they're the perfect couple. They're together all the time. They will probably be together forever, get married, whatever. I think that was everyone's kind of picture from the outside about them.
Yes, and I think that's what they kind of portrayed as well. They really put it out there, especially later with the vlogging and the videos that they were recording and trying to put out there, like the
Hmm.
actual videos that they were wanting to edit and stuff, that they seemed like a happy couple. But
But the whole vlogging thing, like
yeah.
when the case was happening and when I first learned about it, I had a completely different picture about kind of how, like, what was the level of this, like
Mhm.
how famous they were as
Yeah.
influencers,
Yeah,
or
same.
and then when I was watching it, I realized that, oh, they were not at all
Yeah.
famous
Yeah, she was
or
just
well
starting
known.
out,
Or
and they have
yeah,
only one video out.
yeah,
She only put one video out before she died. Yeah.
yeah. I had no idea, but so and also I didn't know that it was just her kind of dream to do this, like
Mhm.
blogging and posting on Instagram while when live. I thought it was their thing together.
Mhm.
But then we find out that actually Brian was totally not into it at
Yeah,
all and kind
and
of
he
thought
was
this was stupid.
stupid idea. Yeah. It's like red flag, of course, one of a million in this regard, because like he didn't want to do he wanted to do the van life thing just because she wanted to, because we'll get into, he was also very controlling. He, well, abusive and definitely controlling. And so I think in order for him to keep her secluded and isolated and then doing something that she actually wanted to do, he agreed to go with her on this van life trip thing. And yeah, he indeed thought it was a stupid idea to earn money or whatever, but I mean, it's a totally legit way to earn money. Maybe it's something I couldn't personally do because I don't have the patience.
But I mean, a lot of people do it.
Yeah, exactly. And some people make their livings off of. So it is possible to do. It's not a completely unfounded and stupid idea, especially back in early 2021 when COVID was happening and all this stuff. Like, what else are you going to fucking do? Be out in nature and do
Exactly. And
stuff.
also, it's not like they were, or, already in the middle of pursuing some serious career or anything.
Yeah.
They were just like, they graduated from high school, right? Then after that, they moved to Brian's parents'
Yes.
place.
Yes.
And then they were like, okay, let's do a road trip by
Yeah.
a van.
And did she have like 2 jobs or something? Or I'm trying to remember the aspect. Like, I know she had
Yes,
2 jobs
actually,
to help
yes, because
pay
she
for
bought the van.
Yes, it was
And
hers.
it was on her name. And
Yeah.
yeah, they talked about this too, that she was very, very serious about the whole plan. So she had like 2 jobs and worked a ton just to
Mhm.
collect the money to be
Yeah.
able to do this.
Yeah. Which made Brian feel like he was being left behind and, not being taken care of and stuff because she was so focused on work.
Mhm.
And yeah, like the friend that she made down in Florida, she told like, okay, Gabby was my closest friend or whatever. And when she had met Brian for the first time, she's like, oh yeah, like Brian wanted to meet the friend that she'd been spending all this time with, like kind of to suss out the situation kind of.
Mhm.
And that seems a bit weird too. Like, of course, yeah, I want to meet my friends' significant others eventually, but it's not like I need to meet them to like, what kind of person are they, like, or I don't need
Yeah.
my partner's friends, like all of them, just to be like, what kind of person are they? Unless they're fucking suspicious or something, then I would maybe like
No, but I think this is very typical in this
controlling.
pattern. And this, yeah, when someone is so controlling.
Yeah.
Like this Brian guy, he's this like textbook example of that type of guy who seems
Yes.
like a very nice guy from the outside.
Hmm.
He's friends with everyone.
But a
Everyone
bit
thinks that,
awkward.
oh,
A bit
a little
awkward
bit
too.
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you get to know him, I think on the surface, maybe he's, just he's not that awkward. Like he seems like nice and
Yeah.
friendly and like he couldn't hurt anyone ever.
Yeah.
But then he probably has a lot of like suppressed anger and also insecurities about himself.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And probably all of this is coming from those insecurities that, oh no, if my girlfriend is doing anything else other
Mhm.
than being with me and paying attention to me, then what if she will leave me, and I don't know, I need to control all the aspects of her life. And this just, yeah.
But this van life was the way to control her to the max because he could watch her 24/7. And yeah, even though he thought it was a stupid idea, like that's just bringing the vibes down, Like if I was
Hmm.
there, like only good vibes, hashtag van life, and then okay, how many times am I going to say hashtag van life during this podcast? But
Have
I
you
know it's
said it
kind of,
many times already?
I think that's like the second or third time I've said it in like 20 minutes.
I didn't notice,
So.
but it fits the theme.
But yeah, it was kind of like this joke back in the 2000s, the
Yeah.
2015 onwards, like hashtag van life, like blessed kind of thing, like the
Yeah.
stereotype, kind of hippy dippy people, granola people just living in a van. And
There's so many horror stories about van life.
yeah, yeah.
So
Especially when
many.
she said that she was like, oh yeah, you should go home, Brian, because I can do it. I can make more money as a solo female van lifer. And I'm like, oh
But
God.
actually, true. But actually, did she really say that?
Yeah, true. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Yeah.
I can hear Eddie in the background
Oh
saying that.
shit. Yeah. So Eddie's kind of
That's cute though.
Is it cute? Do I need to let you out, Eddie? Do you need to go? I'll open the door. See what he wants to do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see if he wants to come back in.
I told him he can't come back in, so
Oh yeah, I'm sure he understood that.
yeah, but Steve is laying in the crib all nice and snuggled up on the
Of course.
blanket. So yeah, he's a baby.
Oh yeah, of course
Steve is
he
not
is.
my baby, he's my baby cat. He's
Cat
my
baby.
cat baby.
I don't know, both are correct probably.
Yeah. Mm.
So, but the issues in their relationship, or like, I mean, I don't even know, like the guy, like this pattern from or behavior from Brian, it didn't start during the van life
No.
part
No.
era.
No.
It started before, right?
Mhm.
Did it? I can't remember now. Do you remember if they already had, like, did anyone say that they had some arguments or issues when they were still living in the original place where they moved from, which I now can't remember where
Was it
it
New
was,
Jersey or something? I'm trying to remember.
before they moved to Florida?
As far as I was remembering, that everybody said that they were like, oh, such a good couple and whatnot.
Mhm.
So no, I can't remember if they
Yeah.
were
Then they
having issues.
moved to Florida. And then I remember that Gabby's mom was saying that they had some issues, but mainly with Brian's mom being kind of an asshole with Gabby, right?
Yeah, the mom was an asshole. So that kind of also makes it seem like, oh, he's the, the golden boy kind of aspect
Mhm.
of, yeah, the mom was definitely overbearing and being like kind of acted nice to her at the beginning. Didn't she like give her jewelry or something? Like was really like super nice and welcoming. And then after a while kind of got more and more nasty as time went
Yeah.
on. Kind of
And then
like taking
changed
my
her
baby away.
address back to her mom's address
Yes, 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 yeah.
and did
Yeah,
like
Gabby
weird
changed her
things like
address
that.
back after she moved back.
No, but actually, I think she didn't change her address, but her mom called her that, hey, there's a letter for you. Like, did you change your address back to
Mm,
us? And
yeah.
then she said, no, it was Brian's mom who did it.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what it was. Yes, yes.
But I think there were other things. So this is probably the smallest one out of all of those.
Mm,
But Brian's mom, which again, we don't know because she didn't say anything
mm.
during this whole process. But based on what they portrayed in the documentary, it seems that what I imagine the toxic boy moms of TikTok to
Yeah.
become,
Oh,
like a little bit too attached to
yes.
her
Like I've seen
son.
some really fucking horrible stuff. Like one was like, "Oh, if only you weren't my son." And I was like,
Yeah, that
"Oh
kind of thing.
no. Oh no. What? Oh
Yeah,
no. That's
yeah.
horrible." Ugh, makes me want to puke. Having a son of my own, I can I just want to yeah, I just want to fucking puke in my mouth. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. So, well, some people are like that. I'm pretty sure we all know someone who is like that or
Oh.
has a mom like that.
Ugh.
Anyway, so I'm just trying to think what made them decide to go on the van trip. Was it just like what else I don't know, just why not? Because Gabby wanted to do the vlogging, or did they also want to get away from Brian's parents?
I think both maybe. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Maybe both. Because I mean, if you have a toxic kind of mother-in-law, I would assume that you'd want to get away from that and just kind of do something that's, yeah,
But
nice.
at that point, we only know that Gabby is saying things to her mom that, there are some conflicts, but mostly with Brian's mom. And that Brian is complaining that she's working too much because she wants to buy that van.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it kind of seems fine up
yeah,
until that point.
yeah. And also, or like before they went on the van life trip, Brian had proposed in July of 2020, right?
Oh, true.
And I guess, yeah, like I'm just reading some E-News article about it too, just because to refresh my memory, that was about this documentary. That I guess no, she didn't want to tell anybody about the engagement. Gabby didn't, and Gabby's stepmother Tara Petito said that she found it a little bit shocking that Brian didn't ask Joe, which is the dad, Gabby's dad, for his daughter's hand before popping the question. And then Gabby was excited at first, but then as time went on, she kind of lost that excitement. And yeah, so kind of a bit of a pity, like also kind of maybe having cold feet with the whole thing. And that's another controlling factor. Okay, I'll propose to her, to keep her. Because I think in the documentary, it was that she was kind of even maybe wanting to end things, and then he proposed to her. They kind of made it seem like that.
Maybe, yeah, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was like, it seemed it was a great relationship initially. Both of them, enjoyed being together, but then at that point, you can't know that this is forever, or maybe you will want to do different things later in life. So so I think maybe he became a little bit too much, like too attached, too controlling.
Yeah.
And then she was like, okay, I don't know. It's not like, I think maybe that necessarily she would have wanted to break up, but then we don't know. But
yeah.
But Brian was becoming a little bit too controlling, and she wanted to obviously live her life, do other things. Yeah. But anyway, so I think at that point it was still okay. The engagement was sudden, but it was probably like another attempt to tie her to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of the things that he always would do would make her feel bad about making him feel bad. So kind of this gaslighting aspect.
Of course. Yeah.
That was heavily pointed out in the documentary, especially during the cop cam stuff, like the video footage from the cops when they had recorded, and like she was hyperventilating and being like, oh, whatever, and like, yeah, she's like, it's my fault, and of course that's just after years of knowing each other, then you kind of sink your claws into somebody and are able to manipulate them, and Ugh.
I think they did a good job showing that during the whole, before they went on the trip too, when they were talking to Gabby's friend, I forget her name. Anyway, when she was describing their relationship, she said that many times, Gabby was working, or she was with her, and then Brian was sending these, or like, they were going to some party and she needed her passport or ID card, and she went back and he took it away from her.
Yeah, they were going to a bar or something to do some like line dancing or something like that, and then went to a bar, and then he had taken the passport out of her purse, and then when she went back to get it, and it was like 45 minutes or half an hour or something one way, so then she went back, and then he wouldn't give her the fucking passport.
So they got into this big argument, and then Brian is kind of portraying himself as the victim, that, oh, you're not spending time with me, or why do you have to go? You shouldn't go, taking the passport or ID card away. And then so this friend was saying that when Gabby was telling her Rose. Okay, so when Rose was telling the story, she was saying that many times Gabby was like, but he's such a good guy. It's kind of my fault that I upset him, and that I kind of bring this out from him. So that's such typical behavior, I think, like a very typical response when gaslighting is successful. That's how it looks like.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and Rose made a really good point too, that he possibly hated the whole vlogging aspect of it, is that he would have to keep everything under wraps, even more, like his anger and the manipulation and the controllingness he would have to contain it more for the camera. So you can kind of see a little bit of it slipping with some of the non-finished clips, basically, like all the raw footage. You can kind of see it slip a bit more, and her getting frustrated because he's being a dickhead or whatever. And so
I think that's also a good example of what we hopefully all know, that whatever you see on social media is like whatever the people
Yeah.
who puts it out they want you to see. So
Yes,
it's
indeed.
definitely not the whole truth. So
Yeah.
I thought that footage of the kind of raw footage, or like when you see parts in between takes,
Mhm.
um, that was sad but interesting, or kind of eye-opening, maybe, hopefully, to some people.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. Because yeah, social media is such a black hole. It's kind of indeed only
Mm,
what people put out there, and there's so many filters nowadays. Just talking about like body image stuff, there's so many
mhm.
filters out there that even in a video gives you the perfect flat stomach and the nice like
Yeah.
apple ass or whatever you want to call it, you know, like and this type of stuff. Or yeah, just
But also just how things happen throughout the day. It's you
yes.
can edit
You can,
anything
yeah, cut
together.
it to make it look how you want it to. And of course, even the people from Netflix could have like edited it a little bit too to make it look worse than it was. Like, not saying that it
Yeah.
in that regard too. Like, everybody has a motive when they put something out in the world to
Yeah, yeah.
portray something. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. So basically, that's the kind of the first episode. Then they go off, and then they're in, was it, yeah, Moab, Utah, and it was on August 12th, 2021. And
So sorry, but by that time, do you remember how long they had been on the
uh,
road? Some weeks, maybe. It was in August. Maybe they left
in
during the
July, I think it
July.
was.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it was like 2nd of July or like before 4th of July, maybe.
And it kind of seemed like her friend Rose was the only person who was kind of alarmed by
Yeah,
this
who
decision.
knew?
She was like,
Yes.
"Oh,
Yeah.
this guy is not good," and now they're
Yeah.
leaving together on a
Yeah,
road
I
trip.
think she was the one that really knew the situation for what it was, and maybe Gabby trusted her like enough to tell her a little bit of it, and also for her to see how Brian
Yeah,
was around Gabby.
because
But
it seemed like she talked to her parents a lot, and they had a good relationship. But then
yes,
maybe you tend
you
to
just don't tell your parents some things.
you
Like
know
I
don't
won't.
want them to worry, or you say, "Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine, everything's under control."
yeah, 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 yeah. So yeah, but Rose definitely had the insider scoop for sure.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. So they're on the road,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, you see all these
there's
nice,
this.
like, clips of them and, like, she's editing stuff and has her drone and she's making videos and, you know, getting it all together, and then on August 12th, then you see or you hear, "Oh, yeah, you hear a police call and, "Oh, what's your emergency?" "Oh, I saw this man slapping this
Hitting the
woman."
woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slapping a woman in a parking lot, I think it was, and or on the side of the road or something, just
Hmm.
outside of the van. And then I was like, yeah, it's a transit van or whatever. So, and they're heading this way. So then the police end up catching up with the van and they pull over Brian and Gabby. And then this situation kind of unfolds where then everything is recorded, which I thought this was also pretty interesting too, to see like how the cops interacted with both of them, which was a
Hmm.
bit,
Oh, yeah.
we can go on for ages about this, how the cops interacted with them, and the difference between the interaction between Gabby and Brian. I
It's
mean, it
like,
was intentions were there. The intentions were good,
yes.
but intentions are
And
just
there were some good points in the
mhm,
discussions
mhm, mhm,
that
mhm.
were recorded when someone was saying, one
Yeah.
of the,
Like
like,
the
it was a
cops were
woman.
discussing stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That like, what should they do? Because if this escalates, then, like, maybe they think it's fine. But then what if it isn't? So they should be
Yeah.
separated. Still, I think they didn't, well, obviously make very good decisions in the end. Like putting Brian into fucking, like, what is it
Hotel.
called? No, but it's like it was this like shelter for domestic abuse victims or something, like
Yeah,
a
but it was
hotel
like a
for.
legit like motel or hotel that they set them up in. So it was like had a shower, had a proper bed, had like, you know, the amenities of a hotel because it was a
Mhm.
hotel, and he gets a free night there and
And they told Gabby to, just drive somewhere.
drive somewhere and camp in your van basically, and try not to contact each other. Don't message each other over the night. Of course they do, you know, because
Sure.
it's an abusive relationship, which they should have fucking known that too. Like, eh.
Because what they saw is that they sub them, and Gabby is like hysterical, or
Yeah,
like hysterical. I
crying.
don't know if that's the good word,
Yeah.
but like she's crying, she's very upset,
Yes.
and then she's trying to tell the story, but she can't really tell it cohesively.
Yeah. Yeah, like she basically says, "Yeah, he locked me out of the van, if I remember correctly. Locked me out of the van, and then he wouldn't let me in the van." And then the cops are like, wait, what? He locked you out of the van? And then they're kind of like,
Mhm.
okay, so that's something. Like, and it's her van, so technically she could have probably like
Mhm.
gotten something a bit more serious, like, oh yeah, he stole my fucking van, like, something. If she was actually in trouble and wanted to press some charges
Yeah.
against him, she probably could have. But she's abused and didn't think to do any of that, which is sad, because she's in this headspace where everything is her fault. Because then even in the end she was like, yeah, and then I hit him, I was like slapping him. And I don't even know if that was the case. Like, I
I
don't
don't
know what to
know.
believe, to be honest.
Maybe, I can imagine that this escalates into a situation where both of them, like she is also kind of
Yeah.
hitting him,
Yeah.
or but like the way she was telling the story, it was kind of like she didn't want it to seem like it's all his fault, like it's all
Yeah.
Brian's fault,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that they've just been arguing, they're tired, blah blah. But
Mhm.
then how Brian was telling the story separately.
It was all her fault. Yeah.
Yes, and also just he was like clearly trying to be, all buddy buddy with the
Yeah, the good
cops,
old
and like,
boy. Yeah.
yeah, and
Which
yeah,
which was indeed like successful. He had
she's sometimes like that, you know how it is. And then the guy, like one of the cops, puts him in his car, and then he says something like, "Oh, my wife is like this sometimes too," and then
yeah,
she just needs a shower and
and time to
whatever. And
cool off and to yeah. And then the fact that she's like, yeah, I have OCD and I have really bad OCD and had anxiety and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I have OCD and anxiety. And yes, I ruminate and I get really worked up really quickly and stuff. But it's like, that shouldn't lessen the effect that the cops had, like, or taken her seriously or something like that. I feel like as soon as they heard some diagnosis or something, and they're kind of like, oh, she's just a bit crazy, or oh, she's just a bit
mhm,
easy to fly off the fucking handle, which isn't the
yeah,
fucking case. Like, if anything, it makes you want to blame yourself more. It makes you want to, like, ruminate and just really get worked up. At least with my OCD, like, I can go from 0 to 60 and just like, okay, things are like the most horrible thing ever, and just,
yeah,
yeah, just too much rumination, basically. So,
yeah. But then also how I think police should be better trained into recognizing
yeah,
this when they're stopping someone. And I think abusers tend to be very good at seeming like they're the good guys,
yeah,
and the victims are not always very good at, kind of describing the situation correctly, or even recognizing that they're a victim. So they should, in a case like this, they should have those tools to notice
yes,
what is likely going on, even if you can't
yeah,
know for sure.
yeah. Because like the other aspect too is that Brian had scratches on his face, I guess, but then she had bruises on her body.
Hmm.
And then, so then the cops asked, like, how'd you get these scratches? Oh, she hit me. And then she was like, oh, I guess I hit him, or I scratched him because I tried to get the keys away from him, blankety blank. And um, then they asked, oh, how did you get these bruises? Oh, I don't know. I guess I must have bumped into something. She didn't blame him at all for the abuse. That obviously was the
Yeah,
case, that he ended up hitting her. So it's like, then this made the cops kind of change their mind and was like, okay, so she's the one that's claiming that she was the one that was the one to insinuate, or like to what's the word I'm looking for? Not insinuate, not insist, but start. Not, that's not the word I'm looking for either. Instigate. That's the word. Instigate.
okay.
It was
I was
another
like, wait, what was the
ins.
sentence? I'm trying to come up with words
Sorry.
that fit there.
One, she was like the instigator of the conflict.
Hmm.
And the cops kind of made it seem like, yeah, she was, because that's what she's saying. But is that someone who
But
was
that
abused
little
that would say
detail,
that?
But is that little detail enough that who had scratches and who said what about the scratches and
But
bruises?
that's
Like,
what I mean. That proves that the
yeah,
cop should have maybe separated them both and like done a bit more to separate them and keep them separated,
yes.
and maybe taken the car away. Or I don't know if you can take their cell phones away. I don't think that's possible, but like taken the way for them to actually communicate or stay the night. Or is there like, let's take you to a jail cell or something like that, where it's
Yeah.
not confined, but you're just going to spend the night here so we can kind of keep a watch on you or
And also,
something.
they didn't check in with them later, right?
Yeah, that was also fucked. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, like, is physical abuse the only abuse they should
No.
be noticing? Plus, then why did someone call them? That they
Yeah.
saw a guy like hitting or slapping a woman on
Yes.
the, like,
That is the
what
reason
was
why
that
they got
about
called
then?
out for it too. So
Yeah.
they should have, maybe taken that a bit more seriously.
Yeah, so that you can kind of, it's very sad to see the
Yeah.
footage now. You can
Yeah.
kind of see how they make up their minds about the case. And yeah, then it all
Yeah.
goes horribly wrong.
Yeah. Just like the cop telling her, "Oh yeah, there's a place where you can get a cheap hot shower for a couple bucks or something down the road." And like then he goes to the nice fucking hotel, or not nice, but just a hotel that has a
Yeah.
shower, has a nice bed and whatever. Oh.
Yeah. And then I don't know if they say anything to their parents about this. Like Brian probably wouldn't, but Gabby, maybe she didn't
Yeah,
tell her
apparently
parents.
apparently Gabby's parents didn't hear anything about the fight at all, like
Hmm.
in Moab. So, but yeah.
Okay, so this was on August 12th. Okay, sorry, just looking at
The timeline.
events and the timeline.
Yeah, and then
So
August
they just
is, go. Yeah.
they basically just continue their
To Salt
drive.
Lake City, is the next stop
Hmm.
they were trying to go to in Utah.
Oh, I just had, sorry, this is not, it doesn't fit the timeline, but I just remembered that. So one of the, so a little bit more background about Gabby, why she wanted to do the vlogging thing is that they said, and I didn't know this before, that she was this like very artsy person. She
Mhm.
did a lot of like art projects and like she was into art and very talented. Like
Yeah,
she did movies and films and those kind of stuff before in
yeah.
high school. So this was actually something that she was good at.
Hmm.
And it wasn't just like a, oh, maybe I could make a living from social media kind of
Yeah, it like
idea.
fit into her wheelhouse, like
Yeah.
her skills. Yeah,
Okay, so they continue to
yeah,
Salt Lake City.
yeah. But the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, I mean, Jackson, the ex-boyfriend.
Hmm.
I guess he heard from her out of the blue 10 days later on August 22nd.
Okay.
And apparently they dated about a year before Brian. And he kind of made it seem that like they were really good and compatible together, but they were just met at the wrong time in their life.
Yeah,
And
but they were also super young. So now it kind
yeah,
of sounded like they're friends or they're still kind of close or they like each other. But
yeah, exactly. So I think they kind of just met when they were too young and they couldn't make it work, but then they would have maybe gotten back together after maybe possibly if
maybe,
they
yeah.
Brian and her had broken up. But
But he was someone that Gabby trusted.
and he was like that was their kind of dream to do together, the van life thing. He's like, "Oh yeah,
Hmm.
that was our idea to do together, van life." And that was kind of sad to hear too. I'm like, "Oh fuck. There's actually like a good guy out there possibly for her that
Well,
wanted to
yeah.
do the same thing."
Or
You don't know,
that's
of
how
course.
they make it
Yeah,
seem like,
how they make it
hopefully. But
seem.
he, yeah.
Yeah. So,
So probably it didn't go super smoothly after that. Um,
yeah. But yeah, like the
because
ex-boyfriend was like, it's kind of a cry for help, or at least that's what he made it seem like, that
because didn't
she's
they
reaching
agree
out.
that they will have a call later and talk about
Yeah.
things? And
When
he had this
Brian
impression.
when
Hmm.
Brian was leaving to go somewhere, was he going back to Florida or something, or somewhere else? I forget where.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yes.
they were gonna call at a later date. Yeah.
And he was thinking that probably Gabby wants to Or did she already write something like that to him, that she's thinking about leaving? Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Said that like I have a plan about leaving him or something like that.
yeah, which is likely why she died.
Yeah. Yeah, and then on the 27th, that's when they had the or what was it? On the 27th of August, they were in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and Gabby Snapchatted the ex-boyfriend, apparently, and was like, "Oh, reminded me of you," or whatever. And yeah, and then that was the last he heard from her, I guess. And then I guess
What?
she tried to call him, I think, and he didn't pick up. And I think that was also
Oh
something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe that's what happened. They didn't agree that they will talk, but she tried to call him,
yeah,
but he didn't pick up, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
it was too late. When was it when Gabby was texting with her mom that like also, was it a text that she wrote, or
August
was it
30th.
already Brian?
It was already Brian on August 30th.
Okay.
Like Gabby's grandfather, like instead of grandpa, it was like, "Hey, can
Oh
you
my
talk to
God.
Stan?" or something like that, which is her grandfather's name, not, "Hey, can you talk to grandpa?" or
That
something
was
for me.
such a stupid
Stupid
thing.
mistake. Yeah.
Why? Like how?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. But like on the 27th, Gabby had already texted her mom, "I'm fine. I convinced Brian to go camp out in the woods so I can have the van to myself. It's what he wants to do anyway. I don't care. He said I could have the van if I paid him."
So
On the
this was when?
27th, the 27th of August.
27. So this was maybe still Gabby.
Yes, I think so.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I pay him.
Yeah.
Oh my God, now I remember more horrible details that came up after this,
Yeah.
which we can discuss. Um, yeah, I just couldn't remember when she was saying that I can make more money as a solo female van lifer.
That
Or
was
did
during
she
this
say
time
that?
too. Yeah.
But did she say that to her mom? So I was just thinking that was it Brian who said that?
Nicole, yeah, the uh stepmom, I guess, asked like if they were breaking up, to which Gabby replied, "No, I said I could just make more money as a solo female van lifer. I'm driving to a campsite now." So yeah, she did indeed
But
say that.
was that still her?
I think so. Because it was still on the 27th, and is she dead on the 29th or something like that? Or I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I just forgot how the timeline was exactly, like what actually happened. Did he write these to make it seem like they are separated and that it's logical that he went back to Florida alone?
I
Or
think
did
it
she say these things?
No, like then on August 29th, that's when Brian was calling his parents, and like I think that's when he murdered her. So 2 days later, so I think he made it kind of seem like, okay, he actually did go camping, because remember, he was at a different site and he got picked
Yeah.
up by the woman who drove him back to the campsite that Gabby was at. And then I think he murders her because then that's close to where her body was found eventually. So I think she was indeed alone for like a day or two. And then he ends up catching up with her on the 29th and murdering her.
So it wasn't so that he murdered her before, then made it seem like they were separated and he went on a hike, but by that time she
That could
was
have been it
already.
too. So,
I
but
just can't remember now. I think this was very clear actually in the documentary, but I just don't remember which version it was.
I think it was,
So by the time that woman picked him up,
yeah,
was Gabby already dead?
I don't think so. At least I don't believe it was that way.
Because there was like those other vloggers who were in that same national park, and they
Yeah.
had footage where they found the van parking on the side of the road,
Yeah.
or just it was just there in their video.
Yeah, it was in the video.
But was she already dead by that time? Because then he ended up driving back with the same van, right?
She picked him up on August 29th, 4 days after the last time Gabby Petito is known to have called her family. So yeah, he was hitchhiking on the 29th. So it still could have been her on the 27th, possibly. But I don't know.
Okay, I will just Google this. We can cut this part out. People don't have to listen to our silent Googling.
Yeah, because August 30th was then the day it was the grandpa text. So 27th was Gabby texted her mom, "I'm fine. I convinced Brian to go camp out." And then solo life is a van lifer. And then August 30th was when the Stan, like instead of grandpa, text was sent. So I think 27th she indeed was alive. 28th she was alive. But then 29th is when he's seen going back to the campsite, kills her. He makes the phone calls to his parents in Florida. And then the 30th is the text. That is weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what was the time of her death or date of her death?
I think it was the 29th.
29th. But I think by the time that woman picked Brian up, she was already dead.
Really?
No?
I don't think so.
Wasn't that on the 29th?
I think he came back to the campsite. Yeah, that was the 29th, but that was earlier in the day. And I think because what I gather is that she dropped him off somewhere, went camping. She drove the van to the new campsite. She stayed there for a couple of days. Brian hitchhiked back and then did what he did and then called his parents on the 29th.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I'm just trying to put together what made me think that this was some attempt from him to cover up because then he got back and then he had the two phones and he was texting himself from Gabby's phone, like making it seem like they had a
that could have
conversation.
been it too. Yeah, that could have been it too. Yeah. But from what I understand, it was like this, but it could be indeed that.
I think that happened, but when it happened, I don't know.
Yeah.
Before the hitchhiking or after.
Yeah. But yeah, so then what was it in September? On September,
Sorry, I will just Google one thing quickly.
Yeah.
This will be annoying for you to edit.
Yeah. But then September 10th, Brian's mother, Roberta, was texted from Nicole, like Gabby's mom, and got no reply from Roberta, basically asking, "Hey, have you seen Brian? Have you seen Gabby?" And then there was no reply from Brian's mom on September 10th. So this is like already 10 days later, like from the, Stan text message, the grandpa text message.
So for a while, they just thought that they don't have
cell reception or whatever.
Yeah, reception or something. Yeah.
And it was funny because then on the text messaging app or whatever, or the messaging app, the bubble had gone from blue to green in the message. So basically then Roberta had either blocked the mom or had turned her phone off. So it's like, that's fucking sketchy as shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And basically just try to get in contact with the family, and the family this is the part that I remember from other people reporting this case, was that the parents were so we're covering up for their son so much, like stupid.
Yeah, because I think Gabby's parents they called the police and they tried to make them call the other police in Florida to go
local
there.
Police.
Yeah, to the house to ask Brian's parents.
Yes.
Because they couldn't contact them, right?
Yeah.
So they went there and his parents were already super suspicious. Like they were like, you can talk to a lawyer. Like,
yes, immediately. Not
even
bad. Yeah. Didn't say where Brian was, even though he was inside the house at that point.
And the van was there.
And the van was in the driveway, blocked in by the Mustang, I think it was, like Chris's car or like the dad's car. Mm-hmm. And
why would if this was true, that they just kind of decided to separate and Gabby would be continuing her van life alone, like why would Brian come home with the van?
Yeah, makes no sense.
Why didn't he come up with, if he wanted to cover this up, why not then hitchhike to somewhere else and fly back or something? Because then and that was the thing that I just remembered, He also sent himself money
Yeah,
from Gabby's.
$250,000. The parents sent him money to
No, but
Wyoming.
also like Brian when he
Oh, from
was
Gabby's
going back.
account.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
wrote something in the
Yeah.
message, like something weird.
Yeah.
He sent himself money
Yeah.
from Gabby's account.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yep. Yep.
Because he loved her so much,
Yeah.
right?
Yes. She owed him, But yeah. So I guess September 11th was when the police went to the home of Brian's parents and found the van and all that stuff. And then they returned on this September 17th, so 6 days later. And Brian's parents said he wasn't there and they hadn't seen him for 3 days. And they wanted to report him missing and stuff. And yeah, like there was this at the house, this was the letter that the agents found. There was a letter from his mother, which had written "burn after reading" on the envelope or
Wait,
whatever.
where did they find this?
This was in the house,
Ah, okay.
belongings in his house.
So
And
he didn't burn it after reading.
no. And it said, like, "You are my boy. Nothing can make me stop loving you. Nothing will or could ever divide us, no matter what we do. If you are in jail, I will bake a cake with a file in it. If you need to dispose of a body, I will show up with a shovel and garbage bags." Yeah.
Why would anyone write this?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then when he came back, they just also went, like the Laundry family, they went on a fun family hike as if nothing had happened.
Oh, it wasn't 250, it was 25,000. Sorry. Yeah, I put an extra zero in there. Yeah. But no, yeah, on August 29th, indeed, like Brian made a flurry of calls to his parents and they contacted each other multiple times. We learned that he told them Gabby was gone and he needed a lawyer on the 29th. So I think on the 27th, that indeed was her, and the 28th, and whatever. So, yeah. And then he started to drive to Florida on August 30th using Gabby's credit card to pay for gas and sent $700 as if she was paying for the van. That was maybe his attempt to kind of cover things up. And then the memo read, "Goodbye, Brian. I'll never ask you for anything again."
Oh, yeah. But I mean, he really, like, in a way, he did really stupid things, but also he clearly tried to cover this up. Because
Yeah.
I keep coming back. Like, I just can't remember how it was exactly at that time when he killed her. But I think it was something like they were camping, he killed her, then he went away alone to kind of leave from the scene or something, make it seem like he's hiking alone, and then hitchhiked with this woman back to the same camping area, saying that, oh, my fiance is camping here alone. But by that time, she was already dead. So it was kind of an attempt to cover up that he wasn't there or something. And then he was texting. Yes, I think, yeah, he had Gabby's phone.
Hmm.
And then he was sending texts back and forth between their phones to try and seem like, oh, he's coming back from the hike. And then he is like arriving soon or something. But Gabby was already dead by that time.
Yeah,
So she
that could
couldn't.
be it. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably someone listening to this who's seen this documentary or remembers the story better is like,
No, you
why
dumb
don't.
bitches. No, it's
Yeah,
not like that.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But
Also, this part doesn't matter that much. No,
no.
it's just the noise bit that I don't remember. But I think it was something like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Possibly. Yeah. I could be remembering wrong too. But yeah. But the parents definitely tried to cover this shit up. They were definitely aiding
Really
him
badly.
in
Yeah.
getting the lawyer for $25,000 and lying to the police that he wasn't there, but indeed he was. And then after that, then he goes missing. And that's when they're like, okay, now we need to send out people to search for him.
But that's
And
also a thing that how did he go missing? How did he leave?
yeah, that was also the frustrating part. Like, how did the cops were supposed to be watching him? and they were watching the house, but he slipped out and went on a hike, I guess.
Suicide hike.
Yeah, suicide hike. And then his parents found him immediately. That was a bit suspicious to me. Like, there was whole search parties going through grid-like fashion in, you know, and then the parents like, oh yeah, his favorite spot's here. And then they find him immediately.
So what happened? Did they discuss that I will go and kill myself and I will be in these bushes? Come find me.
Or maybe like,
they
I'm
were
just
like,
gonna go to
okay,
my favorite spot.
good luck.
And then, I don't know. It's just really fucked up. Yeah. Like, I would assume that the mom wouldn't want her son to kill himself, because she said, like, I'll bake a file in the cake, bring it to prison.
Mhm.
So I don't think she actually knew that he was going to kill himself, but maybe indeed they did know, okay, his favorite spot is here. We'll go check that. But they could have easily told the police that. They didn't need to fucking find the body. That's kind of suspicious too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah.
And then the letter or journal pages
Yeah.
or whatever they were, that's...
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what he was thinking, but so he basically wrote this whole story about how there was an accident and
that
like
she hurt her leg, right? That she couldn't walk and she was in so much pain.
And she
when
was asking him to kill her.
Yes. Kill me, please. Put me out of my misery. And then, so he did. He like killed her or whatever. And then,
why not call an ambulance, take her to a hospital? Like, the car was there.
It wasn't even that far away, right? It wasn't that far away from like the campsite, within like a couple miles, I think, right?
They made it
seem.
But yeah. But obviously this is just so unreasonable, like so stupid.
Yes. And like the only cause of her death was strangulation. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that letter. And I remember these things came out kind of continuously as the case was happening and the police was investigating. Like, I remember I heard first about it when she was just missing.
Yeah.
And it just got more and more horrible over time.
Yeah.
But they ended up finding her body like kind of easily, I think, after that.
Yeah. I think after they found that couple who were also van lifers, the video that she was indeed there on those days. So they're like, okay, so she was at this campsite, so that she probably is around this area in the Grand Tetons, which is a huge area, but like near that campsite specifically. And then they found, some decomposed remains.
Yeah. But so I think he killed her in the van or something and then just kind of dumped her there, right?
Maybe. Or strangled her there. Who knows? They could have gone for a hike and then strangled her. Because wasn't there also a campfire or something like next to her body that he probably tried to make to dispose of evidence, or maybe even the body itself? I think there was something to do with a small fire.
There was some small fire. Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking. But I think he already did this and then took her phone and stuff. I don't know. But the whole hiking, picking him up, hitchhiking back thing happened after that. And she was already dead by that time. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. That's kind of what happened.
Yeah. And I hate the fact that he, in the letter, like that, before he before he committed suicide or completed suicide, he said, please do not make my life harder for my family. They lost a son and a daughter. I would have been so pissed if I was your family. No, our daughter was not your fucking parents' daughter. They fucking hated her, you fucking cunt. Like,
yeah, like, yes. And
she's the reason why that you're the way you are, you fucking monster.
Yeah, like Gabby's parents were trying to, tell them that please, like, we just want to find our daughter, like, communicate with us.
Yes,
but
and
by the time,
knew everything.
Yeah, and by the time the police even showed up at their door for the first time, they were already lawyered up.
Yep.
So
they fucking knew everything. Pieces of shit.
Also, just I was a little bit sad to hear that he committed suicide successfully.
Yeah.
And he wasn't tried or anything.
Like, I really wanted to go to prison.
Well, that was the easy way out.
Yep, it was.
I think he probably, like in his mind, somehow thought that, he's like a victim of all of this in a way.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's his like narcissistic tendency coming out, like
Yeah.
just that like last note, like don't make it harder for my family. They lost a son and a daughter, kind of still makes it come back to him.
Mm-hmm.
And like not because I murdered my girlfriend or fiance and I'm a horrible person, they already have it bad, but no, they lost something and like it just feels kind of a
And he
bit
makes up this whole totally
fake ass story.
stupid fake story about how it
Yeah.
actually happened.
Yeah, like I think that's the way he could live with himself for that long to get himself back to Florida was to tell himself that yeah, she asked for it, she needed it, like she needed to be murdered because she was in so much pain, like makes himself believe that that was the
But
reality.
definitely, it didn't seem like he regretted it because then he was, like sending himself money and like trying all of these things to cover it up, like sending the text messages
Yeah.
between the two phones, sending
Yeah.
the text message to her mom, and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, unfortunately, I think this is a very kind of typical domestic abuse story
Yeah.
that is unnoticed by a lot of people. And
Yeah.
even the people who notice what's going on, it's hard for them to help.
Yep. I mean, her friend Rose, like she fucking knew, but like, how could you
Yeah.
indeed help? Because it's the most difficult part to leave when she was living with the fucking family. They weren't living alone. Your financial stability is all wrapped up. Just like one aspect of this, of course, like it's difficult to leave because of financial reasons, because of emotional reasons, because of like just sheer abandonment issue reasons. And
Yeah.
like
And
it just,
you're like, if you have been gaslighted so much, and like she didn't seem like a very, rebellious personality or
no.
someone who is like very, very confident, maybe, or like
Yeah.
stands up for herself
Yeah. Yeah.
necessarily. So she was really like, oh my god, it's all my fault.
Yes.
He's totally right. I'm making him angry, whatever. So it's kind of like then in that situation, and even then she was kind of probably thinking about leaving, and that's why
Yes.
they ended up having the final
Yes.
fight, and then
I
he
think so.
killed her.
Yes, I think so. Yeah. Motherfucker. Burn in hell.
Yeah. I don't know if then there was some legal case against the family, right?
I think
Wasn't
so.
there? Like there was a lawsuit against the Laundry family from the Petito family.
Yeah, they filed a suit against the Laundries for emotional distress and settled last year out of court. So in 2024, they settled. Yeah.
So it doesn't look like they're going to prison.
No, and I guess there was speculation over the involvement of the Laundries, of course. Like, I mean, we speculated that everything has been alleged that they were knowing everything, but I mean, well, but yeah, they probably couldn't prove that they weren't charged
That they
with
knew.
crime. They probably, I mean, they knew, I'm sure, but it's like without a reasonable doubt, could you prove, that they actually knew everything and blah 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 blah.
Like what could be even like what could be good physical evidence in this case? They had the letter, the burn after reading letter.
Yeah, but I
It's not
guess also the
evidence.
parents weren't legally obliged to speak to authorities, like even if they did know something, they're not legally obligated to talk to police about this. It's just kind of their own volition, to speak up and out of the goodness of their own hearts, but they don't have good hearts, I guess. So, yeah. Yeah.
So what is our conclusion? Domestic violence awareness is the point here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of these cases when you think that, oh, this couple, like they're so codependent, they're so attached to each other.
Mm.
And then maybe from the outside, it seems great. And then some people in their inner circle might know that it's not that great, like kind of like in the OJ case.
Yes.
And there Nicole was like, filing the police reports and everything,
Yes.
but they seemed probably like from the outside, it seemed like they're this like rich, successful couple. They love each other, whatever. But then people might notice signs. But I don't know, like at least it's hard to help. But in this case, what is so enraging is this police encounter
Yeah.
by the Moa police. And they kind of completely missed all those signs. But I think this is kind of the typical discussion point in this case, that they really made a mistake there.
Yeah. And it's like, where do you draw the line? Okay, is the female usually going to be the abused in this situation? So should you help the female more? But then in those situations like that, it's very difficult. I get where the police had issues with this case, because like, if someone says, no, I don't want to file charges, you can't make them file charges.
No, I know.
And
But like in this case, because they have the body cam footage, so that you can see that they were kind of believing the guy. Like
and they were doing the buddy situation with the guy.
Yes, they were so friendly with him and kind of like, oh yeah, well, she's like one of these women who gets too upset and like, it's not your fault, let her cool off, like that kind of thing. So they should have like followed up on it the next day.
Yes.
Not just be like, okay, you're sleeping in separate places now, goodbye. I don't know, what can you do? It's not like that you can call their parents because they're adults, right?
No.
But make them, like, bring them to the police station, make them contact someone else.
Yeah.
Talk to someone else. I don't know.
Yeah. Talk to somebody else, maybe talk to some confidant that they can open up to a bit more than the police. And then I would even inform, like, okay, so you're going to call your friend, but let us talk to the friend first or whatever. And then I would talk to the friend and be like, okay, if there's anything concerning, you call us back and then we'll assess from there or something, like this kind of, not entrapment situation, but kind of, because you're not going to tell the police everything, probably. And I mean, you might not even tell that to your friends as well, like on what's going on either, but there just has to be something better.
Yeah, I don't know. They could have done something more. And sometimes in the situation, maybe it feels like it's too much or it's overreacting. But like, she died now.
Yeah.
She was murdered in the end. So
Indeed.
nothing could have been overreacting.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So very sad case. Kind of, I think it's pointing to a very typical pattern.
Yes.
There are also other cases like this.
Look for the red flags.
Yeah. And also, like, people in general should just know more about it, how it works, what are the dynamics in an abusive relationship, how the gaslighting works.
Yes.
Then, like, if someone is a situation like this themselves, like, notice it's hard, but just like, start questioning things. That does it resemble something else? Like, is it really my fault that he's getting angry? I don't know. I think just like education in general is important for everyone.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Raise your sons and daughters not to be abusers or to be abused. That's takeaway message, I guess. Have to start with the next generation or something, because
Yeah,
I mean, I'm going
and
to
don't be weird with your children, like toxic boy moms and like Trump with his daughter, and like, no.
Ugh. I just got the shivers. Like, I got like like in a bad way, like kind of like this, like almost kind of gag reflex kind of thing.
Yeah,
for that.
You're welcome.
Fuck. Yeah.
Okay, another horrible case. Let us know if this random discussion about documentaries is interesting.
Yeah.
We are not super well prepared, just kind of remembering things as we go. There are more American murder stories too. Like, I mean, on Netflix, there's this American murder kind of theme. Yeah. So there are more cases in that. There's the Family Next Door. I think that's the Chris Watts case, which is really bad. And then there is the Lacey Peterson
Mhm.
case, which is also, oh my God,
Yeah.
that's so bad.
Yep. I mean, all of them are pretty bad, but yeah.
Yes.
So we could just go through the list.
But I mean, let us know if
Yeah.
this is interesting.
Yeah.
Or like tell us if like, yes, it's good, but please prepare better.
Yeah. Something. Or do you just want to hear us talk, listen to us talk about random shit more? We can also lighten it up a little bit too. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we can try.
Yeah. But I guess thanks for listening. Let us know what you think. Follow us on Instagram. Send us a Gmail. And Petra's not here to say don't send us dick pics, but what should they not send us, Victoria?
Oh, I can't remember. What was it?
Yeah, I don't know. Something with like phallic symbols and pictures or something. Yeah.
Drawings?
Yeah,
Was it? Yeah.
drawings. Yeah. None of that. So yeah.
Or was it that they should send those to us?
Oh yeah, I think Petra wanted them. But
Send them to Petra.
send them to Petra.
The email address is Petra.
Whew. Yes. Okay. Thanks for listening. Hej paralla.
Bye.